ODHH Monthly Bulletin, November 2012 edition. Hello. The clocks may be set back an hour beginning on Sunday, November 4th, but at ODHH, we continue our work to move Maryland forward. I am pleased to report that, as a result of a partnership with the Department of Labor, Licensing, and Regulation, we hosted two incredible workshops for job seekers who are deaf, hard of hearing, or deafblind during National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Over 40 Marylanders were able to participate in the workshops and gain valuable knowledge about job seeking today. A very special thanks to Sarah Mumford, Lloyd Day, Charlie Hunt, Lisa Hamlin, and Hank Passy for making these workshops possible. November is a busy month as we prepare to vote on Election Day, that's November 6th, and recognize those who have served their country on Veterans Day, November 12th. November is also National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, and there are studies being done right here in Maryland exploring the link between hearing loss and dementia. Finally, ODHH is hard at work with the Department of Budget and Management in developing a statewide interpreter contract. Please see the articles in this month's bulletin for further information on each of these topics. At the end of the month, many of you will celebrate Thanksgiving with your family and friends and reflect on the things for which you are grateful. On behalf of the staff at ODHH, I would like to thank all of you for your support this year. It does not go unnoticed, and we are grateful for our federal, state, local, and community partners. Thank you. State issues Visual Communication Services request for proposals. The state of Maryland is in the process of requesting proposals for a statewide Visual Communication Services contract to provide sign language interpreters and computer-assisted real-time transcription, also known as CART, to its staff and constituents. The Maryland Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, recently issued a request for proposals, or RFP, to providers of sign language interpreters and CART providers. The RFP includes 4 services: on-site sign language interpreters, remote sign language interpreters, on-site CART, and remote CART. The 4 services are expected to result in multiple contract awards. The contracts to be awarded from the RFP will be for 3 years, with options for 2 one-year renewals. Aside from being available for use by all state of Maryland agencies, the contracts may also be used by Maryland local governments, many not-for-profit organizations, and some governments outside of Maryland. The purpose of the contracts is to help the state and other governments and organizations contain costs associated with providing auxiliary aids and accommodations at an established rate. It is the hope of the department that this new contract will make it easier for state personnel and others to request and provide the appropriate auxiliary aid. The terms of the RFP may be viewed on the DBM website at www.dbm.maryland.gov/agencies/procurement/visual-communication-services.aspx, or at the News tab on the ODHH website at www.odhh.maryland.gov/news.html. It is very important that the state recognizes the importance of meeting the communication needs of all its residents, Director Kornberg of ODHH said, including those who are deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf-blind. Creating a statewide contract sends the message to all state agencies that providing accommodations is a critical need that must not be ignored. A pre-proposal conference was held on October 16th. In attendance were state personnel from the Department of Budget and Management, the Department of Rehabilitation Services, the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, and the Governor's Office of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. The pre-proposal conference was also attended by 20 people representing over a dozen prospective offerors to the RFP. These attendees were able to ask the DBM staff for clarification of the terms of the RFP, and the answers to their questions are provided at the above links. In addition, possible amendments to the original RFP are under review. It is anticipated that contracts will be awarded and the services will be available in early 2013. Veterans with hearing loss. The Governor's Office of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, or ODHH, was established in 2001 to provide expertise related to Marylanders with hearing loss and to facilitate their ability to access resources and services. This includes providing information and support for Maryland servicemen and women who have lost their hearing. According to the Federal Veterans Benefits Administration, tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, and hearing loss were among the most prevalent service-connected disabilities for veterans receiving compensation at the end of fiscal year 2009. During fiscal year 2009, 570,966 veterans received compensation for hearing loss associated with military service, and 639,029 received compensation for service-related tinnitus. Veterans with hearing loss related to their military service may receive compensation benefits ranging from $123 to $2,673 per month, depending on the severity of the loss. If you are found to have a service-connected hearing loss, the VA will also provide hearing aids at no charge. Tinnitus is also a compensable disability up to a maximum of 10%. $123 a month is the 10% compensable rating. Veterans filing disability claims with the VA should seek help from an accredited representative when filing for benefits. There are a number of national organizations, for example the American Legion and Disabled American Veterans, which have accredited representatives in and around the state. The staff at the Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs Veterans Service and Benefits Program is also accredited with the VA to assist veterans and dependents with their claims. You can reach a Veterans Benefits Specialist at your local Veterans Affairs office.